Frank Miller was on Daredevil around the time I was at my most formative and most impressionable age. He was just developing the cinematic style, and I was at this age where I was like craving just that thing. I was looking to be moved by comic art, and you know, I'm coming from a world of George Perez and these other very mainstream but very stylized artists, and Miller's stuff was rougher and angrier, and it was an emotion I wasn't used to getting from a comic book. The issue where Elektra died, 181, which is, you know, probably the best crafted issue, and also it's something that's very hard to do for us comic creators today, which is really keep the element of surprise. Then we were just turning the page and we're like, oh my God, she's dead, and I care, you know, and she's really dead. So it was violent, and it was disturbing, and I remember being shocked. Everyone was going to throw it across the room, like, oh my God, I have to sit down. So yeah, so those were very influential, and that feeling, that Daredevil 181 is what every single comic creator of my generation aspires to do. There's not any process to making a comic book that's the right way to make a comic. It's not screenwriting, and it's not poetry, and it's not narrative writing, and it's not pen and ink, and it's not photographs, it's not painting. It's all of these things. All of these things can make a comic. Anything that produces a sequential images that tells a story is how to make a comic. And anything you can do to visually or narratively express yourself makes a comic. So always put your character in the place they least like to be. So anytime I start an issue, I'm like, all right, where's the thing that, where's the place that Daredevil would least like to be? What's the big sphere? And that's how we started this whole run that we're on right now, where Daredevil's been outed by the tabloids, because it just seemed to me that Daredevil had been very sloppy with his secret identity. People who read the comic book over the years, even way back in Miller's years, every time any girl made Google Eyes at Matt, he'd end up telling them he was Daredevil, and it was kind of to the point where it was funny, and then Kingpin found out he was Daredevil, and Foggy knew he was Daredevil, and every girl every year, you know, everyone knew he was Daredevil, and no one was really doing anything about it. Even the Kingpin was going, well, now I got him where I want him. Even though I never did anything. And the world's so much more complicated than it was in the 60s. How hard would it be to keep a secret identity? Even think about that. You know, how hard, and you can't, everything a celebrity does, and we all know those tabloid stories are true, everything they do, we find out about it. Everything. There's videotape of everyone doing everything to anybody, right? So, I go, here's the story of a modern society superhero. Let's really tell it and see how he deals with it. Let's see where Matt's character is. Well, what happened with that following artist is that artist became like superstar artists, and then it got into this weird area where the artist had totally taken over every aspect of the creation of the comic, and everything was big double-page spreads, and you know, tons of bats and flowing capes and chains, and there's a great tradition in comics of the splash page. You turn the page and boom, there's the shot, and then it became every page was the boom, there's a shot, boom, there's a shot, boom. There's no story. It was just, and no matter how great the drawing is, if the comic is only about that drawing, it's a very shallow experience. You know, I was actually working at a comic store during this period. I was in college, and I was working at a comic store, and people come up and not remember if they bought a particular issue. And it was like $5 an issue, and they'd be like, did I buy this? I'm like, wow, if I took $5 out of you and slapped you, you'd remember. You know, so, and I remember, well, they're not having any kind of experience. They're not, you know, not a real experience. What we're in now is very writer oriented, and what you get there is, from the most basic level, what's attracting to the comic is an idea or a series of ideas, and that's so much more captivating than a pinup.